Well, we've got even more revelations from ABC News correspondent Jonathan Karl's upcoming book called Betrayal. And this one is that on the evening of January 7th, which, 24 hours after the Capitol riots, after crazed Trump supporters stormed the Capitol building, the next day, Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump decided to throw a lavish dinner party because nothing actually matters to them. Here's the way he puts it in the book. Among those who attended were Larry Kudlow and Brooke Rollins, who were still working as senior officials in the Trump White House. Kevin Hassett, who had served as one of Trump's top economic advisors until the summer of 2020, was also there. One of those who attended the dinner told me the conversation centered on the idea of creating a new think tank to promote free market economics in a way that would appeal to Democrats. Remarkably, there was no mention of the fact that a mob had just stormed the Capitol a day earlier, ransacking the offices of Democratic leaders and trying to prevent the certification of Joe Biden's election victory. So, the day before, one of the biggest news events in this country since probably 9/11, and everybody there was just like, nope, not talking about it, not going to mention this big thing that happened. This thing that, by the way, is going to be in history books. That event, January 6th, is going to live forever in American history now. That's how bad it was, regardless of all the whitewashing that you see people like Tucker Carlson and other conservatives like Marjorie Taylor Greene out there trying to do. It was a horrendous day. People who typically don't sit and watch network news, myself included, were glued to our screens, watching in horror as all of this unfolded. And the next day at a lavish dinner with people still serving with her father, Ivanka couldn't even mention it. Didn't even go up to somebody and be like, hey, did you see that? What happened yesterday? Holy crap. Your dad got impeached for that. That was his second impeachment, by the way. And you couldn't even make small talk. You couldn't even tell somebody, I don't approve of what happened. Of course you couldn't say that, Jared or Ivanka, because you didn't care. You didn't care one way or another. I can't say for certain that you liked it. Reports certainly say that your dad was enjoying it. But that's how callous and shallow these two individuals are. It wasn't even worth bringing up. It wasn't worth talking about. Maybe they were embarrassed. If so, I would like to know that. I would like to know that you two monsters are capable of some kind of human emotion like shame or embarrassment. But I don't think you are. So you're schmoozing, you're talking with your wealthy friends, you're wealthy yourselves. You're like, what if we build a think tank and get some Democrats on board with free market ideas? Free market, what a BS term, by the way. It's something that people who pretend to understand economics love to throw out there because it makes them sound smart, but it really means the economy. Free market. We have a free market. We know that. Anybody who's taken Econ 101 understands that. It's a useless term that you don't need to throw out there. But that's a story for a different day. The point of this one is that Jared and Ivanka didn't care. Jared and Ivanka went on with their lives as if nothing happened. If only the rest of the country could do that as well, right? Just be as shallow and carefree as those two. Because nothing matters to them. They're made. They don't have to be concerned about anything other than where their next million is going to come from.